Hello everyone, Rob here, and today I'm going to cover the basics of getting started with Vim and how to use it to improve your workflow. Most people who learn how to use it typically fall in love with it. It's definitely worth the effort. It's a matter of working smarter, not harder, and I think you'll find there's certain situations that you've been in before that you have wanted to perform an action and you've thought there's got to be an easier way to do this, and Vim is that easier way. Anybody who's working with code is familiar with that for sure. So the first thing we're going to cover here is entering and exiting Vim. So we're going to be working with a file called kali-setup. This is on my GitHub page. It's a script I use to simply install all the tools that I don't want to lose on a new operating system or new Kali OS install, so it saves me a lot of time. However, it does require some modification in Vim in order to make it work correctly. So to do this, we're going to enter Vim by typing vim kali-setup. That enters us into the application there. And before I tell you how to exit, we're going to jump to the top of the file by doing GG. And we're going to jump to the bottom of the file by doing capital G. So now you know how to quickly move to either side of the file for whatever you need to work. If we want to exit, we do simply, there's 3 different modes of Vim. So that's why a lot of people usually get stuck when they're first learning how to use the application. There's command mode, there's visual mode, and there's insert mode. Insert mode you're probably most familiar with, as you just type, simple to something like Notepad. So if I'm in insert mode, I can type and do whatever I need to do there. Now if I'm in command mode, I can issue commands. I enter command mode by hitting escape. This is a button you'll probably hit most in Vim, because if you ever start typing a command out that you want executed but you've made a mistake, hit escape and that will clear your mistake and you can start over and issue your command again, so you're not issuing some random command that you don't know what's going to happen. The other thing, to enter insert mode, you type I. If I did not explain that already, you can type I. There's also, there's different ways to enter insert mode as well. So if I hit O, that creates a line below where my cursor's at and then enters insert mode. If I can do escape to do command mode, then I do capital O, and that will put a blank line above and put me in insert mode where I can type. I can also do the same by going to the end of the line. So if I wanted to type at the end of services here, so if I wanted to be over here, right, I could do Shift A, and that puts me at the end of the line, and now I can type whatever I need to type. I'm going to hit escape to put me back in command mode. Now the other option is visual mode. There's a couple ways to get in there. There's Shift V, and that is line highlight. So visual mode basically highlights stuff for copying or whatever you're working with. Your movement keys in command mode all still work in visual mode. They're just used for highlighting stuff. So I can use J to go down, K to go up, H to go left, but notice it doesn't change my cursor highlighting. It only moves the cursor, and I can go L to go to the right. Sorry, H is left, L is right. And it's visual line mode, so it's only selecting the lines. I can jump to the bottom of the page and select everything that way, or I can jump to the top of the page and select opposite of what I had originally, and then escape gets me out of it. If I were to do other commands such as cut or copy in command mode, or in that visual mode, it would copy or cut whatever I have highlighted. So right now what we're going to do first is we're going to exit this file. So I'm going to do escape to enter command mode, and then at the bottom of the screen here you'll see I'm going to type colon and quit, which is Q, exclamation point. This is going to quit the file without saving anything. So as soon as I hit enter, it executes that command and I leave Vim mode. So I'm going to enter kali-setup again in Vim. If I want to save that file, I would do escape colon W, and that saves my file. If I want to save a copy of the file, I would do escape to enter command mode, then colon W then space, and I would rename it, or I could define a separate path if I didn't want to save the file in the same directory. So we're going to call it kali-setup.sh. Now that I've saved that copy, we can view that we've created it by entering shell mode, and we can do that by doing escape to enter command mode, :sh for shell. And now if I do ls kali, we can see I now have two files, kali.sh, which I just saved the copy of, and kali-setup. So we're going to delete that file, and let's see, vim kali setup. Okay, so this is fine. If you have Vim open already and you try to enter that file again, you're going to get this warning message. You can hit E for edit anyway, or R for recover, Q for quit, A for abort. So I'm going to hit A for abort. Since I have it open already and I'm in shell mode, I can just hit exit, and I'm going to go right back into my Vim session here. However, if I go back to shell mode and say, for example, I wanted to force open that file anyway because I couldn't get to my session for whatever reason, you do vim-r and then the name of the file, and you would enter that file. So get out of, we're getting out of shell mode here, back to our Vim mode. The next command we're going to enter in command mode is, so we've saved, I've showed you how to exit. We can also save and exit at the same time by doing escape to enter command mode, :WQ, exclamation point, and that saves and quits. The next thing we want to do is we can view line numbers as well. So if I do escape to enter command mode, do :set number, and now I can see my line numbers. And if I want, I can turn that off by doing :set no number instead of number, and that removes them. So, but I want them there. The reason I want them there, notice for one, right now I can go up and down with my movement keys, which are J and K. So J goes down, K goes up. I can also search for a phrase that means that I'm looking for. So maybe I'm looking for tmux. So to do that, I would enter command mode by hitting escape, then :, and then forward, or not :, sorry everyone. Hit escape to enter command mode, /, and then I would search for whatever I'm looking for. So if I'm searching for tmux, I now found that, and once I hit enter, it clears that highlight out and takes me there. So now I'm on, in case you can't see, this is the line I'm on. So that is how to do that. You can search for any kind of phrase that you want. We can also issue like a sed command, for example, in command mode by doing escape, and then we're going to do : %s, and this is our arguments basically for sed here. So we're going to do our /, we're going to replace sudo apt-get install space with nothing, and we're going to do that globally. As soon as I hit enter, you'll see that anywhere there was sudo apt-get has been removed. And that's probably most easiest to see here under apt installs, where we just have the application names. Now to undo that action, I simply hit U in command mode, and that will undo my action. I noticed there too that we have a sudo spelled wrong with sudo with a P. So if I search for that, sudo, SUDP, and I find my misspelled word. So now that I'm here on this line, I can replace that P by doing R while I'm in command mode. So escape to go into command mode, R for replace, and I'm going to replace that P with an O. So I just hit O, and now that's replaced. The other thing I can do here, if I can go to the front of the line by hitting 0. Now that I'm at the front of the line, I can change the case by doing a tilde. So tilde makes that a capital S, a capital U, capital D. Go back to the front of the line by doing 0, and then tilde, 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 and I change the case back to lowercase. Another thing that we can do here is there's a redo action. So we've covered the undo, which is done with a U key for undo, and the redo action is a period. So if we were to do something like maybe I wanted to, what's a good way to put this? So the redo action is very nice. We'll get to that. I'll get to that a little bit later. Another thing for moving around, we can move back a word by doing B, as in back. And notice I'm install, get, dash is viewed as a word, apt, sudo. I can go forward a word by typing W. So back a word is B, forward a word is W. W, 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 W. We can also combine this with our, typically I see cut gets referenced as delete even though it's cut, and that's probably because the key is DD in order to do that. But really you're cutting. So if we wanted to cut a word, it would be DW. I just typed the wrong thing, so I'm hitting escape to undo my action. We do DW, and I just cut that tmux word out. Anytime I want to paste it, I would do P, P. Every time I hit P, it's going to paste it. I can redo that action by simply hitting period instead of P, and you can see that's doing the same thing. So now I'm going to undo all those with U. Oh, the other thing I should say is we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can do 7 undos, and we undid 7 of those instances. Anytime you put a number in front of your command, the command gets executed that number of times. So there's another thing I'm going to mention with this cut, for example. We can cut 3 lines in 2 different ways. There's multiple ways to do things in Vim. You do whatever feels most natural to you. So for example, if I want to cut this line here, this line, and this line, I can do that, of course, by highlighting them and then hitting D, and then I can paste them with P. Oops. Actually, we're going to go up a line and then paste so that it's normal there. The other way to cut this is we can do 3DD, and now we've cut those lines again. I'm going to paste using P, and we can also do D3D, and that cuts those 3 lines as well. So there's always, you do whatever feels natural to you. It's fun to play around, and it's definitely worth putting the effort in to learn this stuff. So now that we've done that, another thing we can do here is, so say I have a wrong word here. I don't want this to be sudo anymore for some reason. I can do CW for change word, and that takes the word out. I can type, I don't know, sudo backwards, right? And then we'll hit enter. I'm in insert mode. And that is how you replace a word, basically. I can undo that action, and now it's sudo. Again, so we can change a word with CW or delete a word with DW. And, either one works for whatever you're trying to do. You can also delete a character at a time with the X key, which is kind of easy to remember. So I can delete one character at a time with X. And if I do, let me undo that. All right, you can also do 7X to delete. It's basically like hitting the X key 7 times when you do 7X or 8X, etc. We covered the word skip with W. We can go backward with B. We replaced a word with R, or a character with R. The other thing we can do is go to a character that we're looking for. So that's either T or F. So T is for to character, and it puts you kind of like one ahead of it. And F is, I guess, find, I would say. It would be a good reference word, but that takes you right to the character. So here I'm going to do T dash, and we're going to be taken to T because T is in front of that dash. If I were to do F dash, it takes me to that dash. So I'm going to do that again. It should take me to the Y, the dash Y at the end there. So F dash, and you can see now I'm at that dash Y. So that's a good way of getting to the next word that you're looking for, or of course you can do that /search. And mind you, these commands are all in command mode here, so I stopped hitting escape before each one because I'm already in command mode and I don't have to keep hitting escape to do that. The other thing we're going to do here next is, we're going to do macros. So I'll show you a use case for this. So sudo apt-get install. If this is running a script, it will install tmux, but apt is already in use by a process, so none of those other apt-get installs are going to be run, preventing those other applications from being installed, which means we have to modify this to make it work. And the reason I put them there like that is in case somebody else accesses the script, they can see easily what's installed on what's being installed, and nothing's kind of hidden in there in a sea of words. And I'm basically assuming that you know how to use Vim to clean it up for yourself. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video right now. First, what we're going to do is we want to take that Y after the end of tmux, and we want to place it between install and tmux. So I'm going to go up by using K, and that puts me on this line here, line 78. Now I'm going to go to the end of the line. We can go to the end of the line in insert mode by doing Shift A, or we can do $, and that takes us there but leaves us in insert mode. So in insert mode, I would do XX to delete, but I don't want to delete just yet. Actually, what I'm going to do here is we're going to go back to the front of the line with 0, and we're going to do F dash, and now I'm there. And even faster, we go to the beginning of the line with 0, and we do 2 F dash, and now it just takes me there. Ways you'll find different ways to improve stuff as you practice, as long as you're conscious of what you're doing. And this is how to do that. So now that we've gotten to where we want to be, the next thing we want to do is copy this. Something I'm going to take note of, you should take note of here, is what I'm going to do now is I'm putting a space at the end of the line after -y. And the reason for this is because I want to copy -y, or I want to cut -y. If I don't have that space there, the line 79 is going to be put at the end of line 78, which we don't want. We want to keep that space in between there so it's on the next line. So now that I'm at -y, I'm going to go to L, and that goes, we want to go to visual mode by doing V. Then I'm going to do 2L, and that takes me 2 spaces over to the right, and visual mode highlights those 2 characters. Now that they're selected, I'm going to do D to cut. And now that I've cut those characters, I want to go back a word by doing B, and that puts me in front of tmux. Now if I paste here with P, you're going to see this isn't what we want. It puts us after the -T. So we're going to undo that with U. We need to go over to the left one more character. We do that with the H key to go left. And then we're going to paste again with P. And that's what we're looking for. So now we've gotten that part down. Now the next thing, what we want to do is as you can see this line here, sudo apt-get install hashcat. We want to take out sudo apt-get install, right? So it's only hashcat. And actually probably a better way to demonstrate that would be, we'll go to the front of the line, visual mode by hitting V. Now we're going to go over a word by doing W once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So we're going to delete 5 words, right? And that takes us to hashcat. The next thing we're going to want to do is delete the space on that line, so hashcat is behind tmux, and we also want to delete that -y at the end of hashcat. So to do this over and over again for all those, we're going to create a macro. And to do this, don't let that word intimidate you. Just give this a chance, please. So we hit escape to go into command mode. Q starts the recording of our macro, and W is selecting, right now I'm selecting W because it's right next to Q. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, recording at W. So using the combo command, the vim command at W is going to execute whatever commands we have recorded. We end our recording by hitting Q again. Once I hit Q, that all the commands that took place inside of whatever I did gets copied, and I can repeat those series of commands on each one of these lines, which you'll see why that's useful here. So now that I've done, I began my recording by doing escape to enter command mode, and then QW, selecting at W as my key there. What we're going to do is delete 5 words, so 5 DW, deleted those 5 words. Now we want to get to the end of the line to delete that -y. So we can do that by doing Shift A, which puts us in insert mode, or we can do 0, which, oh, sorry, not 0, $, which takes us to the end of the line. Then we can do 2x, 2x. Actually, let's undo. Let's see if that worked the way I expected it to. 3x. Nope. So we're going to undo that. That's not what we want to do then. We're going to start this over because I messed that up. So I'm going to hit Q here to close that out. Now I'm going to need to start my recording and select my key again. So I'm going to hit Escape to go into command mode, Q to start my recording, W to select the action key, and now I can start my commands again. So I'm going to go 5, delete word, deletes 5 words. I'm going to go to the end of the line and do XX to delete those characters. Then I want to go to the front of the line with 0, and then say I need to enter insert mode here really, so I'll hit I, and then backspace, and that is what I want the line to do. However, when I repeat this action, I want it to go to the next line automatically. Otherwise, and by doing that, I'm allowing myself to repeat the command a number of times. So I'm going to hit Escape again. I'm going to go down using J, 0 to the front of the line, and now if I hit Q, that closes out my recording. Now when I'm in command mode still, if you're unsure, hit Escape. Now when I do the key at by doing Shift 2 and W, you can see Git was just placed to the end of hashcat there. If I do it again, Vim is going to go there. So at W, now Vim is at the end. Now I want to repeat these lines, right? So I don't want to do this 1,000 times. So if I go from line 79, let's find the bottom here. So we want to remember 79. And now at the bottom is 146. And that is because line 147 is a go, get, install. I'm going to use capital O to put a space on that line there just for visual purposes. Now I want to know what is 79 minus 146 so I know how many times to repeat this. So I can enter my shell mode by doing, first I hit Escape to go into command mode, then :sh to enter the shell. Then I want to do expression in bash. It would be expression. I forgot all my numbers. I didn't want to forget, but I did. So 146 and 79. So we're going to do expression 146 minus 79. Is 76. So that's how many times we want to repeat our action. Now I'm going to go back up to line 79 by doing Escape to enter command mode, :79 to go to line 79. Repeat my action 76 times, so 76 at W. And so I did my math wrong apparently because I said 7. Yep. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic, so sorry about that. Well, I'm going to undo all that. 76. That's why. So 146 minus 79 is 67. So I was way off there. So we'll go back into our shell here. And actually, I just forgot that number again, thinking to myself here. So 67. We're going to repeat our action 67 times. So 67 at W. And now you can see it's there. The other thing I did not take into account is, let's undo that and take a look down. We have recon ng. Got messed up. There was a dash in there. We also have libcurl, OpenSSL dev, smtp-user. That fix. Let's get rid of that fix broken. And we're going to delete that line completely. So back up to line 79. We took out one line, so we're going to repeat it 66 times. 66 at W. Let's see how this looks. Alright, that's much better, except for the samdump2. So I'm going to hit U for undo. Let's find that samdump2. And there's a dash in front of that samdump2 for some reason. So why is that going there? You know why? I bet there's a space. after this Y. There is. So I'm going to delete that out with X. Now if I go back up to line 79, we'll try this again. 66 at W. And beautiful, that's what we wanted. So we have sudo apt-get install-y, and now we have all these applications that we're going to install. Notice this is a long line, so it takes forever for me to go all the way to the end. So knowing that a $sign takes you to the end of the line is very useful, and 0 takes you to the front. And I deleted that extra space at the end there. So that's why in insert mode, L is the end of the line. And I'm going to put, by doing 0, oh, I forgot to install the last line there as well. So my numbers were off. Sorry about that, people. But we just need to at W, and that should fix our issue. However, I deleted that space that I needed. So that's what I get for calling it too early. Where am I here? Oh. And I want to do that, yeah. So now that we've done that, that is basically how macros are carried out. Anytime I want to use that macro, so if I go back up to the top here, I have a couple more sudo apt-gets. If I were to come down here and execute my macro again, it does the same thing. However, I need to adjust by removing this Y here. And then I would go down back to the beginning of the line at W, and that fixes that apt-get. And we would have to do the same thing for these as well. That is pretty much everything I wanted to cover in Vim. I'm hoping this was under 30 minutes. It is, because I didn't want to go too long. Maybe I'll do another video at some point called in like a Getting Better series instead of Getting Started or something. We'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave comments below. Thanks.